and welcome to Feed. It's a cold, snowy, wet night, and this season is all about missions. And I'm joined by two brilliant men who are on a very serious and brilliant mission, and they're travelling around the world. They joined us from the UK today and Scotland originally. Andy and Ruari, you're very welcome. Founders of OneYearNoBeer and authors of the 28-Day Challenge. They've been all over Irish media. All over, so they've saved the best to last. They were on Ireland AM yesterday morning.
That's right.
Then you were on Q102, Today FM. They did Pat Kenny, even the God Pat chatted to them today, was it?
Yesterday, and then we were swimming with a happy pair this morning.
Swimming with a happy
Freezing
pair.
our pairs.
Oh, yeah, with a happy pair. So, I haven't really spoken publicly about this, but I've done the 90-day challenge with OneYearNoBeer last year, and I'm on my next challenge, and I haven't revealed the number of days yet to myself, basically.
Ongoing.
But I've become evangelical about this, and I think this will be the most pleasant interview you've had because I really believe in this system. So, this is going to be an advertisement for the next half hour. No joking. We will be talking about all things, about where it starts, how it started. So, before we get stuck into the guys, we have a lovely video that I just recorded from the screen from the guys' website, an introductory video, which sets up really nicely what OneYearNoBeer offers people who sign up. Have a look.
Kick the drink for 90 days and focus on diet, exercise, nutrition and the mind.
90 days, chunk down into 2-week sprints, and every day we'll give you support. And we've got league tables, you'll be able to see how you do. We'll be in touch with you every day, and we will know how much you've interacted with us effectively, so we can give you some support or pick you up if you think you've come off the wagon.
To me, it's a challenge, it's a change. It's just trying something different for the first time in 15 years.
It offers people the chance to sort of break free from the social pressure that overwhelms us. All those goals and all those dreams that have been on the back burner for so long started to become reality.
I felt like I was a better mind space to actually reflect and make certain life changes.
Clarity, energy, enthusiasm, passion. You start to really feel those emotions properly again.
I wake up and I feel great every day. I feel so much healthier. I've lost weight. My skin looks better. I've enjoyed getting in the gym a lot more. I've got a lot of my motivation back.
I'm definitely sleeping better since I've stopped drinking.
It's really not as hard and scary as you think. It's actually been one of the easiest things I've ever done.
I think OneYearNoBeer can change your life in that you move away from that assumption that you have booze to have a good time.
So everybody looks super fit and healthy.
Yes,
Yeah.
as always.
Not always that super fit and healthy though.
No. Oh, yes, we'll come to that later.
So to give a bit of context, I discovered OneYearNoBeer on, as you know if you watch Feed, that I was on a bit of a journey with my own health, trying to reduce my blood pressure, trying to figure out and realise that I just genuinely felt I was just drinking too much. I just felt it had become a habit. I felt, and I can remember the time when it happened. It happened when I was living in London. I bought my first little apartment. I was broke, but I had a lovely little apartment, but I was broke. And all my friends, literally, I bought a place in West London, and I opened the door, and all my friends went, "Bye, we're moving to East London." I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" Yeah. So I started drinking a glass or two of wine in the evening, thinking I was being sophisticated, and it just grew.
Yeah.
And I just knew, I just didn't like the relationship. So that's how I found you guys. I was looking through, and Ken Boylan, a makeup artist, is very public about his one. He's on his 365 challenge. A friend of mine, he had put it on Facebook, and I found it through him. So I will tell you my story in a minute. Tell me your stories. How did it start?
I think for me it was probably about 4 years ago. 4 years since I've had a drink now, and there's no rock bottom in our story. That's really important. I just had enough. A bit like you, I was bored of trading Friday nights for weekends.
Yeah.
Young family. I just didn't want to wake up again feeling tired and hungover and lethargic. So I thought, I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to take this challenge, do 28 days, see how I get on. And it was massive for me.
Well, where did that idea, 28-day challenge, come from?
Oh, right, sorry. So
what made you think 28 days?
Because I needed an excuse.
Okay.
Like, alcohol's the only drug in the world that if you try and give it up, people berate you for it.
Yeah.
They don't encourage you. They go,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you're just going to be so boring. We're going to blah, blah, blah." So I needed an excuse to tell people, to tell clients, to tell friends that I'm just taking a break. And that's where it came from. I said, I'm going to do a challenge. Initially, I said, I'm going to do 1 year, no beer.
Right.
Which was massive.
Yeah.
Way too big for me, and I couldn't achieve it because I didn't have a system, I didn't understand my psychology, I just didn't have any sort of framework, and I bounced around a week, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then I cracked 28 days, and everything started to change. My eyes were bright, I got my motivation back, my mojo back, I was in love with my wife, she was in love with me, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
But the social pressure, and Ruari talk about this, really started to build up. My boss at the time, who I admired, said on no uncertain terms, if you keep not drinking, i.e. not entertaining clients with drink, your business is going to really suffer.
Wow.
And that's huge social pressure to be under.
Wow.
But I kept going, and just to complete the story, a month became 2 months, became 3 months. I lost a lot of weight, as you'll see. I lost 3 stone in weight. My relationships blossomed rather than fell away. My social life got better. My business was booming. I went back and studied because I had this time, this energy, and I was so enthused by it all. I was like, I've got to share this. This is great. More people should be doing this. And I met Ruari on part of that adventure. And it was
So give a bit of context. We're both brokers in London, so it's absolutely prevalent. And for me, I come from Scotland originally, so like Ireland really in the culture.
My sister was a broker, and I remember famously that I used to go there in the summer, and drinking the bar dry of champagne was a thing.
Yeah, that was
Wow, assholes.
Exactly.
Or like they do in
Not
Stockholm.
like that.
What they do in Stockholm is they buy a drink but just leave it on the bar.
Yeah.
I'm that rich.
Yeah.
But I mean, just very much ingrained in me. And to quantify, we're not talking about problematic drinking. For me, I was drunk, 2 times a week or whatever. Once or twice a week, sometimes with clients, sometimes with friends. But I just felt like I was looking at all other areas of my life. I was looking at, why am I overweight? Why am I not achieving what I want to achieve? Why do I feel depressed? Why am I, and why do I have these, I thought I had IBS, real stomach problems. So I was going and trying to find solutions to these problems. And it wasn't until I actually took a bet with my wife, and I took a 90-day break from alcohol as a sort of bet to prove her wrong.
Yeah.
She
said you couldn't give up.
Pretty much something. She was like, alcohol, we were a very tumultuous relationship.
Yeah.
She was like, no way could you do that. And I was like, right, fine, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, and then on that, I could, like Andy, blown away, absolutely blown away by how much everything got better. Met with him, he'd just done 6 months alcohol free. He'd done his 40th birthday party in Ireland.
in Dublin, yeah.
Right?
Alcohol-free.
Totally alcohol free.
One of my best friends in the world, and I couldn't believe it.
And what he said to me was something really key. He said, Ruari, actually, when you do these big events and you do them alcohol free, something shifts inside you. And you realise, hang on a minute, the Matrix, this is not what I've been sold about alcohol needed everywhere. It's not actually true, and you discover it yourself. So I thought, fine, my birthday's coming up, Christmas is coming up, did those, New Year, and I was like, wow, I just kept feeling more self-empowered. Ended up doing 2 years completely alcohol-free. 28% body fat, then 10% body fat, started a new business, started a podcast, had another child, renovated a 200-year-old barn, which I project managed myself with my wife. I would never have done all that stuff if I would never have had the capacity.
Yeah.
So I found it as a huge upgrade.
Yeah.
I did 2 years completely alcohol free, and now it's not called moderation; it's called drinking in total control.
Yeah.
Right? Or I like to say, I drink as much as I want, whenever I want. It's just not very often.
Yeah.
Because the reality is, I massively outweigh the cons compared to the pros of drinking. The next day.
So there's loads of questions, but what I'm really fascinated by some of your interviews that I saw in Ireland, and a little bit disappointed with some of my compadres here, is that I found in some of the interviews you're almost defending yourselves. Which I just think is I think that's reflective of society's view of alcohol. So I find I have to do a challenge or make a pretense around why I decided not to drink, rather than just be honest and say I think I was drinking too much.
Exactly. And
we're not at that stage yet, which is why we created OneYearNoBeer.
We're not at that stage yet. Even I'm not at that stage yet. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah, exactly. And in most interviews, the first thing they want to do is try and say, how much were you drinking?
Yeah.
Was it a lot? Because they're trying to prove that you are these huge drinkers so they can switch off and say, oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not a massive
I don't have
drinker.
a problem.
I don't have to listen. So we have to fight that for the first bit of most interviews to go, no.
Yeah.
We didn't have a problem. There's no rock bottom, no marriage breakups, no run-ins with the police. We were like average drinkers who wanted to be better.
When they go through that checklist, they're like, So why did you stop
Yeah,
drinking?
I don't get it.
But here's another thing. So it's all relative. An average drinker in the UK and Ireland is a massive alcoholic in America.
Yes, exactly.
Like if you've ever lived in America and you go for it, they're like, whoa, because they'll do shots in college and then they stop, or else they go drinking or whatever, you know. So but our level of consumption is very high.
Yes,
right?
completely. When you look versus, say, the government guidelines of 14 units, which is absolute next to nothing, everyone is smashing. Not everyone, but most people are smashing through those limits.
Yeah, for sure.
Completely.
Sorry, you were just talking about the US?
Yeah.
The estimated cost of the US economy is 221 billion alcohol abuse.
Wow, so it is huge. As well.
Massive.
Yeah.
It's a global massive
I just
problem.
feel it's a little more. It's a little more. It's on the It's on the side of non-drinkers a little more. It's a little easier in America.
It's
say,
easier to say I'm not drinking.
People don't obsess on the fact that you're not drinking.
Oh, the peer pressure is rife here.
So is that what the challenge is about? Is it about support for avoiding that peer pressure? Really, is that at the core of it? Really,
and that was the origins of the challenge, was to give people that excuse. There's a great excuse. I'm pregnant. Men don't have that, for one.
You know, I've done it. My friends who want to know. I've said I was on those crazy antibiotics for a gum thing. Because you can't drink on them. People love knowing that as well.
Exactly. It's antibiotics or pregnancy. So we wanted another excuse just to get you out the trap door, just to give you 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and then when you feel great and you get that confidence, then you don't need the excuse. Because you're on a roll. You've got that confidence. Do you know, I feel great. I'm not drinking. But that initial stage, which is the hardest bit, that first 2-3 weeks, you almost need something to take with you. And that was the idea behind the challenge idea.
So you met, you're like-minded, and said, let's start this. And how did it start? A Facebook page, a website, what was it?
So we wrote an original copy of our book, and then we created... So Andy'd done positive psychology, mindfulness practitioner, studied habit change. Both of us got really deep into the science behind this. What is it about the behaviour? How do we get past that habit? And then we broke it down into daily emails. One of the key things about this whole program was about the fact that bad habits don't need telling off, they need replacing, right? So forget about giving anything up. What we need to do is get you focused on only going forward. All the advantages of going alcohol-free, all the learning, all the discovery. Like all I'm doing is searching, and all of a sudden, boom, you're done 28 days. You've applied loads of healthy habits, and actually your transformation's been exponential. Instead of just drying out from alcohol and feeling miserable about it, you've actually come much further because you've implemented a lot of healthy habits.
Those day one reasons to I'm giving up alcohol are so helpful. To go back to the back of your journal and read the reasons why. Because actually, on day 10 or 14, you feel great!
Exactly.
I go for a drink!
This is easy!
That is the
and then it'll catch you.
All of a sudden...
and I'm... So in full disclosure, I did 90 days last year, and we went to Venice with Declan and Andrew, and I thought, I'm just going to drink here. And actually, they're not really particularly heavy drinkers anymore. We're a little older now, and we didn't really rinse it that heavy. But I did notice, drinking or not drinking, I felt this really isn't adding much to the situation I'm in. So that was one thing. But then through Christmas, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to go along with the flow and see what happens. So I'm back on my next challenge, and this time it's definitely easier.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I think a lot of people we'll see, even within the OneYearNoBeer system, come do a challenge. Maybe they do 28 days or 90 days, go away, maybe try moderation, which I think is quite difficult. Don't like the word moderation. It feels like you're holding
something
back.
Yeah.
And then they come back and do another challenge, and I think they find it a lot easier because they know what it's like on the other side. They've seen behind the matrix. They know how great they feel and all the good things that are happening. So when that crap stuff slips back in, the tiredness and the lethargy, it's like, I don't want that. I want more of this. And I think that's such a big motivator.
So this is a movement, right? Because it's you sign up, you get your daily motivations in video form or podcasts. There's webinars, seminars, there's meetups. The guys had a meetup with all the Irish OneYearNoBeer
socials
last night.
Brilliant.
I didn't go because I'm too famous. No, I didn't go because I was trapped out in Wicklow. That's another story. But I would have definitely gone because I love that you all met up.
It was brilliant. It was really good.
And you were saying it looks like we're having a party here. These are all alcohol-free beverages, all of them, which we're going to sample in a minute. And I'm actually just going to go live on the Facebook here now so I can answer any questions you might have, particularly people want to know about alcohol-free substance. Now, what I want to ask you is the broad spectrum of the movement. Okay, so explain how it works.
Okay, so now 3 years ago when we originally set this up...
Sorry, can I ask you a very silly question? Is this your full-time job now?
It is, yes.
It is. Technically, I'm on sabbatical
mine.
for 6 months.
Okay.
Bruce, most definitely.
This is your
But we're
full-time
both
job.
doing it full-time.
Did you ever think it would be a full-time job?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
you thought you were onto something here.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No,
okay.
we sat down and we thought this is massive.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to blame alcohol. It's the last bastion. Everyone is blaming everything else. They're all searching. Look at what people are searching for. I've got problems. I need divorce. All these problems. And actually, the solution, or the first step to that solution, is taking a break from alcohol. We talked about this earlier. That anyone who's having problems in their marriage or their relationship or anything like that, forget the couples counselling. Just do 90 days off the booze first of all, and then do it. Save yourself a fortune.
Yeah.
Because when you remove one irrational idiot from an argument, there's no argument.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you were just talking about the.
And Adam will testify. I'm a very annoying home drunk. Apparently, I repeat myself a lot, and that's got to drive a person crazy, right? Just repeating myself. But okay, so I've swayed you off the movement because I'm interested. You set up a business, you knew there's something here, because I really believe you're onto a zeitgeist here. I think what's happening to alcohol is what happened to cigarettes.
That's right.
I think people will acknowledge it's an addictive substance, and I feel currently, yet to be proved wrong, that actually it could happen to anyone. Becoming a down and out on the street, addicted solely to alcohol, could happen to anybody.
This is absolutely key in what we talk about a lot. Right now there is normal drinkers or not drinkers in one corner and alcoholics in the other. That's all there is. There is no. What we're doing is there's actually a sliding line. Everybody is on this sliding line, exactly as you talk.
Yeah.
You're only a step away. And I went into my colleagues one day and said, I've got a stomach ulcer, and I'm going to have to go and get an endoscopy to try and give myself an excuse not to have another boozy lunch. And they looked at me and went, why did you go to the doctor?
Yeah, I just can't fathom it. Just
wow.
carry on.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
And Rui's so true, I think, as well, with this spectrum, as we say. And I think taking a break, if you're drifting, it's a slow drift to that problem. It picks you up and puts you right back down here again.
Yeah.
And then you do it again, and then eventually a lot of people just say, like me, what's the problem?
Yeah.
I'm so happy doing this, I'll just keep going.
So tell me the movement, explain the movement, how it works. Anybody who has never heard of OneYearNoBeer.
Absolutely. So what we did was we created this online program, where you got the daily emails and the support. The biggest thing was about community. So something very functional people understand about in exercise. If you're going to go and try and do something which is different to your tribe. Our tribe, as we know it, drinks alcohol. We've been conditioned since before we were old enough to walk that our aunties, uncles, friends celebrate, commiserate, congratulate with alcohol. Totally ingrained in
and
you.
it's grown up and sophisticated.
And you just, like learning to drive a car, it takes a bit of learning, but then you do it on autopilot. And that's what we're drinking. We're all drinking on autopilot. So if you want to go against that, you're actually going to be sort of leaving your tribe, if you like, for a period. And also, that really reflects with how people behave. I'm not drinking. What? Why are you not drinking? That's the defensiveness they fear when you're leaving the tribe. And so what we did is wanted to create a global tribe that you could belong to. That in your pocket you had this tribe
on your phone,
waiting. I'm getting peer pressure. Please help me. Boom! 40 comments of support and ideas and solutions. And that'd be it.
And also, just to add to that as well, it's the aspirational and inspirational story of seeing people like you at a later stage, maybe they've done 90 days or whatever, looking amazing, feeling amazing, and telling you all these amazing things that are waiting for you. So if you're on day 5 or 10 or whatever it is, it's like, I want a bit of that.
Well, I became kind of needy because I was like, oh God, it's 20 days! Is that amazing? And Adam, my partner, was like, great, because Adam wouldn't drink every day. He'd be like, so I'm like, I'm looking for a badge right now, or some sort of, slap on the back, thank you very much. So I think there's a part of you who's pretty proud of yourself for getting to a certain stage. But then, to say that publicly makes it sound like you feel you had a bit of a problem. And if you're really honest with yourself, you probably did have a little bit of a problem with it, in that you felt it was a grip on you and you wanted to shake that grip off a little bit. So when you've shaken it off a little bit, you do feel like shouting it from the rooftops.
Completely.
But then it sounds like a judgment.
Yes.
So it's a very delicate balance, isn't it?
And that's why it's nice to have a community of like-minded people where you can come to and go, do you know what, I've done 50 days, and I go, yay, there's a big cheer about it, because it's difficult to share that with friends that are still drinking.
A funny story, you've just reminded me of something I wasn't even going to tell you, but I was in the west of Ireland in a lovely place, and it will remain nameless, and it will remain nameless because the woman who sidled up to me, I think I told you this on the phone,
right, you did,
and I was hosting a big fashion show, so everybody could see that I was on stage, and I came off stage and went backstage, and this woman came up to me and said, I know you from OneYearNoBeer. And I was like, it's okay, it's not a secret. I just didn't know. I said, it's online. But even she was a member and she was embarrassed.
Just a little bit.
She was worried for you. But the reality is, none of those people felt that at that meetup, and that's what we want to get rid of. Wear the badge, absolutely proud. I'm on this challenge, and that's what we wanted to create for the whole thing.
To destigmatise the whole thing.
And so, do you have people who go off, come on, drink, and then go back to some alcohol, or they can manage it, or
yeah, exactly. And so it's a real mixture. Like Rui is a perfect example. That's why I think we're both a good example. I've chosen not to not end this challenge. But like Rui now drinks, as he mentioned, every now and again in full control, and lots of the members will come do a challenge. And our mission is to transform people's relationship with alcohol. It's not about quitting forever if that's not what you want. It's about transforming it. And if you go back to moderation, again, don't really like that word. Some people do try that, and they get on great with it, or they go to Rui, which we hope you achieve, which is this full control, or you just carry on. As simple as that. It's no pressure.
So take me through the process. So I'm watching this now, and the links, by the way, are all above. So the links to the Facebook, the links to buying the book, which we'll talk about in a minute, the links to the challenge, if you want to do some of the challenges, are there as well. And I recommend it 100,000,000%. Do it if you feel like giving up, even just for 28 days, try it. The links are all above us. Explain how it works. People go to the challenge then, and then I'm going to show a little video of you welcoming people, all right? So how does it work? So people register?
Yes, so people register for the challenge, and then they get daily emails and videos telling them what they need to know when they need to know it.
Let's have a look at one of the videos. So this is basically, I recorded the screen of the website, which is when you register for the challenge, you get a number of videos which are called sprints, and it's broken into 4 sprints, I think, the
6 sprints.
6 sprints, sorry, only thing I remember. You've got our first video here coming up now. This is I love the music as well. I like your graphics are really good, and I'm quite picky about those.
Cool.
And this is Andy here telling you about the first day of the challenge.
Welcome to day one. Why are you here? Today's all about thinking about those motivations, those aspirations, your inspirations. What has led you to this point, to take this challenge, to change your life? Take some time to reflect and enjoy this day. You know, you might be feeling somewhat hungover. Good chance you are. You're feeling excited, apprehensive. You know, I used to love this part of the challenge, and believe me, I was here more times than I can mention. Day one, you know, when you want to dream and about all those things that are going to happen to you, how much better your life's going to be, how much more productive you're going to be. And if you find yourself back here on day one again, don't worry about it. You know, we want to get this out really early on in this course, that slip-ups happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. It certainly wasn't for me, but here I am recording this video 2.5 years ago since I had a drink. Yeah, I slipped up many times. But the key is to learn from your mistakes and come back stronger. So even at this early stage, you know, we're not condoning drinking during the challenge, but if it happens, don't worry about it. Just learn from your mistakes and come back stronger. Note it down as a blip rather than a start again. See how you feel. But come back to this day and dream about all those great things that are going to happen. And that's something that personally I really enjoyed. So enjoy today. Be excited. You know, what lays ahead is really going to change your world in many ways. You know, you're going to get your motivation back, your vitality back, you're going to get your time back, your money back, your health back. This is something to be genuinely excited about. So just take some time today just to reflect on all those reasons why you're here.
You have a very soothing voice. So nice. Those videos are great.
Oh, good.
They're really great, and they really help. So you get one of those videos every day, which just kind of s'mores you along. It's also in text as well, so you don't have to watch the video. You can just read the text as well, which give you they're really good little plan of what to do. So that's every day, isn't it, for the challenge?
Exactly, every day, and there's the emails mentioned, there's the audio. Tell me what you need to know when you need to know it. Yeah, and then in the groups we do accountability posts, which is really taken off now.
So this is really important. This is very, very, very important. The accountability posts are on the Facebook. There's a private members page, so what you write in there is private within the group. And it's funny because some people recognise me, Irish people recognise me in the group.
That's right.
But I think I'm very. We had talked about me doing something on, and I said, no, look, come and do feed, and we'll talk about it properly. Because one thing I have to really stress that as a fan and advocate of it, I don't want to scare people off by being too excited by it, and I want to tell people that there are some days that it's not 100% that easy.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like anything. Is when you get to the next morning, you're so happy with yourself for blazing through, and I think you build up these sort of magic points in your head Do you know what I mean? That you get little stars every time you do it, and then all of a sudden that just falls away and it becomes more normal. So I actually have a theory, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that fundamentally I think what's happening to me, and happened to me, this could be just me, is having read The Naked Mind, being introduced to it through OneYearNoBeer, everything I'm reading comes from the other members of OneYearNoBeer.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
They're brilliant.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Best reading list in the world. I think I was a little bit addicted. I don't think it was stopping me working or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I think those 3 months broke that crippling addiction.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of coming out of that phase and into hopefully a phase where I can use alcohol in the way I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really feel I needed to just break that cycle. Do you agree with that?
Completely, yeah. And I
That's
think a lot of
exactly
people need that break. It's essential.
It's
that
pressing
the
a
break.
reset button, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And how long does it take for most people?
Somewhere between 20 and 60 days,
Yeah.
depending on how much of a drinker you were, or drinking, or how much you apply yourself
Yes.
to the daily stuff. I mean, everybody gets a course, and everybody applies a percentage, whether that is 5% or 85%. The more you apply, the more you're going to get of it. I mean, you've done it yourself. We ram that program with stuff. There's a lot of habits, there's a lot of routines, there's a lot of good stuff in there. If you apply all that stuff, you're going to have a real huge
I
transformation.
didn't lose a pound.
Did you not?
No.
And
I
that's
didn't
interesting because lots of people
lose loads of weight.
Yeah.
I'm just about to show you that. I'm really looking forward to this one. No, I didn't lose. No, I train a lot. I do train a lot. I do aerial yoga, I do animal flow, I run. I was a trained fitness instructor for years, so I train. And there's nothing like, as my sister says, there's nothing like being on the telly to keep the pounds off.
No, that's
like you
right.
see yourself on telly, like, oh, I need to get that down a little bit, and that's true as well. So there's a lot of it. I love well-being. I get the benefit of it, but it's pretty much vanity based. So I do watch my weight a lot. But I thought I'd lose loads of weight, and I didn't. And I'll tell you why. Right? So I substituted the alcohol with alcohol-free beer and treats.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did
Exactly.
go, fair play, let's
Yeah.
have and I'd have a whole pack of hobnobs to myself.
Yeah.
Now I've levelled off.
Yeah.
I've come through that bit now.
Do you know what? I think you crave the sugar as well.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
So much sugar and alcohol. That's
So
the
much
sort of
sugar.
conclusion. Yeah,
Do you
that when
think
you
so?
come off it,
That's-
people, the sugar monster comes out. And we see
Absolutely.
that all
Well, you
the
said
time.
that one.
Well, also alcohol
Yeah.
processes the body processes alcohol, and part of that processes into sugar,
Right.
sweet, and also all the sweetness that's in the drinks anyway in the first place. So there's a huge attachment to sugar, but also you hit the nail on the head with the A-bomb word. We don't like to talk about addiction because people are like, well, I'm not addicted. I'm really sorry to say most people are addicted to something, whether that's social media or blah, 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 blah. Skip on that. I was going to talk about Facebook and the crazy addictions, but
Just stay tuned for the next bit.
exactly. Show my point of view. But so common to switch one for the other. In actual fact, that plays slightly into our hands a bit, because we can use the addictiveness of social media and actually take you from being a little bit too addicted to your alcohol on a regular basis, and swap your addiction for social media as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And while you're on the social media, we are filling you full of healthy habits and ideas and suggestions that you can put in to start building a foundation. And that gives you a foundation to be able to change different areas of your life.
Exactly, and just to expand on that as well, when you first start the challenge, it's all about the booze. So if you treat yourself to some sweet stuff, good on you.
Yeah,
You know, let's get the booze cracked, and then all the
exactly.
skills you learn from that,
Yeah.
you can apply to your diet, exercise, and that's when we get these big transformations.
Now, having done, I did the clothes show for the last 3 years of that with Louise Redham and Karen Franklin, and then I did the fashion program here for 7 years, and always the before and afters were the most popular moments
Oh,
of
I
any
bet they
show,
were,
right?
yeah.
So we have some incredible before and afters, people who've taken the challenge. I have no names for these people. I'm just calling this first girl is dark-haired girl. She did 90 days. This is her before and after picture. And the guys encourage you, when you take the challenge, you take a picture on the day you start
Yeah,
the challenge,
that's
right?
right.
Then we have another girl, a blonde girl, who's done 150 days. Have you got it up there, Adam, yet? Looks absolutely
Sally.
stunning. The one that I find most impressive, clearly I will, 119 days, he just looks like this. Who's this guy?
What's his name?
It doesn't matter.
I can't
Muscly
see
guy,
either.
but now-
Stefan.
Stefan. What?
Thank you.
119 days.
Absolute legend.
Incredible.
I know.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So that's inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's now done his year.
He's incredible. That's
he's
incredible.
done his year.
And then the last picture. Check this out. It's Andy. Hey!
Andy.
The handsome man. How much heavier were you in that picture?
3 stone. Heavy.
Wow.
Pretty much, exactly. And do you know what the amazing thing is? I didn't feel that I was overweight at all. I didn't get it.
That happens a lot.
Yeah,
I speak to people a lot. It just creeps up.
Yeah, I just didn't see it at all, and then it just kept coming off, and then you go, oh my god, now I'm at 13 stone, and it kept going, and 12 stone, and it just settled there. And I mentioned before I played professional football, and I was 12 stone 10, because I can remember exactly.
So hang on, just don't gloss over that. That's very interesting. You played, go on.
Alright, so I played professional football in the UK for Orient and Gillingham, and then I played in Ireland for Sligo Rovers, Derry City, Coleraine, Drogheda.
Wow.
Clearly I wasn't very good because I moved around a lot. And I kept going from one club to the next, but I had a fantastic time. But yeah, when I was playing football, I was 12 stone 10. I remember it really clearly. That was my sort of fighting weight, as it were. And now I'm 12 stone 2.
Right, okay.
So I think I was probably too heavy when I was actually playing football, which is the great irony. And I never thought I would ever see that way again. I thought I just matured out of it. And then the booze went, and it's not just the calories in the alcohol, it was the ability to train, the ability to having the energy and the motivation to exercise. And then I changed my diet completely. I was the classic meat-eating salad dodger.
Yeah.
And then that changed to vegetarian, and now it's the vegan-style diet, probably about 90% of the time.
How much has the movement grown? So go back to the start. You started when?
So we started 3 years ago now. We're now 27,000 odd members in 120 countries.
27,000 members in 120 countries.
Wow. And those are people who've been through our challenge.
Amazing.
So yeah, but now it's really starting to get traction with the book. So we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
The book is now out there. Have an amazing response from the book. So
I think the book is a great one. It's like if you want to piss your partner off, just put on a really good black dress and loads of makeup and just be in the kitchen when he comes home from work, and he'll go, "What are you doing?" "No, nothing. Just look a bit suspicious." And then give him that book. It's brilliant. Okay, we have a little tiny promo which I love, and the link to buy the book is above, and we'll tell you all about the book in a second. Play the promo there, Adam, will you? So very glamorously, you're on your book tour. So that's what the book looks like. It's called the 28-Day Challenge. That was where it all started.
28-Day Alcohol-Free Challenge.
Alcohol-Free Challenge.
That's
AF is code for it.
Yes.
Alcohol-Free Challenge. And in fact, you can go into many off-license, even in Dublin, and say, what's your AF options? And they know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot.
Amazing. Yeah.
So the movement has really grown. The book is flying out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's doing ever so well. We're so pleased with it, and it's reaching a new audience.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Before, we had to work very hard to get people in and market, whereas the book it's selling itself, and that's wonderful. And now we're getting these new people coming through saying, we've got the book, did the challenge, feel great, I want to know more, and then they're just slowly moving into the movement and just giving people confidence that you can do this thing and thrive. That's the main thing.
And is the book a page by page day challenge? It walks you through the
every single day, daily step. I mean, that's really what each day we implement a new habit or a new routine or a new thought or stuff like that. Really, because it's a process of rewiring that brain and coming out the other side. And what everything we've geared together. So what we wanted people to do is have this mindset shift. First, make it easy for that step to take the 28-day alcohol-free challenge. Just give it a try, 28-day alcohol challenge. And then while you're on that, what we want to promise you is that you're going to get to the end of it and really honestly consider carrying on. Mm-hmm. Like, most people would think, I would never want to do that. I'm just going to get to 28 days and I'm going to get straight back to drinking. But actually, you're going to get to a place where you're thinking, you know what, I think I'm going to carry on.
And do you know, it's a really good point, because it's like a dry Jan. There's two ways to do it. You can do it and go, oh God, this is going to be boring. Cancel the social calendar, become a social hermit, bemoan the month of January, and can't wait for Feb so I can go and get pissed again.
Yeah.
And then wear that as a medal to get absolutely slaughtered for the rest of the year. Or you can do it our way, and it's that mindset shift of, do you know what, I'm going to gain all these advantages. I'm going to feel amazing on a Saturday. I can get up and do stuff. I might lose a bit of weight. I can see friends. I can be even more social and do all these things and use it as a process to demonstrate to yourself you can live this vibrant life without it. And it's a completely different approach.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we spoke about relationships earlier, but business is another classic.
Yeah.
The concept is, the bit that's keeping you inside your little world in safety is, no, if I stop drinking, I won't get those clients and I won't get that. Forget that. If you want to have the best year of your business, take a break from alcohol.
Yeah, and we're
everybody says it. Everybody in our group says it.
I actually think now, compared to what you said your boss said to you about, oh, you lose clients, I think in the group, when somebody says, I don't drink, I think we all go, oh, he's smarter than everybody. I think there's a kind of a...
There's a slight shift.
But it's kind of like he's slightly more in control.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think it's like, I might be wrong, I get that impression that people think he knows something we don't know, or he's got some ability we haven't got, because he's not drinking. And when you're the non-drinker, I mean, I keep kind of letting down the down though, but sometimes I'm in an environment that go, no, I'm not drinking, and I kind of feel really proud of myself doing it, so I've got to be careful not to shout that.
There will be people who are listening or watching and saying, you know, that's not the case because my boss always says, you know, come down on a Friday, that's where you'll get your promotions and blah 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 blah, and they expect you to be, you know, and that's in media, that's in all areas of business. The reality is, in those situations, is that's when you take up stealth drinking, right? That's when you go out on the piss without anyone knowing you're on the piss, and you use these amazing things. I mean, look, there you go. Nobody would know that's not red wine. You know, you go to the bar early, you get a non-alcoholic beer, pour it into a pint glass. It just looks like a pint. And we get away with it.
And we did that. And
I've been doing that. Yeah.
And it's nice, and then you don't have to defend yourself. And then again, it's all about getting those first couple of weeks under your belt. Because once you feel great about it, it's like, do you know what, sod it.
What's the vision, isn't it? I mean, my vision would be that a world where men and women are equal, and we don't have to defend ourselves for not drinking alcohol.
In time.
Right? In time. What's your vision?
I think that's not far off. We want to transform as many people's relationship with alcohol, and it's not doesn't mean you have to quit as well. If you don't want to, it's just about transforming it so this mindless drinking that's causing so many problems disappears, and people can be confident and say, I'm not drinking tonight, and exactly as you said, people accept it.
The biggest thing for us is this year we want to impact 1 million people. And the way we're going to do that is that we know that almost everyone who comes through our program, you know, like for instance, all of my family, most of my friends, all of them have either taken the challenge, changed their relationship with alcohol, don't drink, done a year, everyone's been affected by it. And so when you take this challenge and you have this life change, you will infect, if you like, it's like a healthy virus. Right? You will infect those people around you. They will question their relationship. They will start to drink less. So if you've got somebody, a friend or a family, or who's got a problem drinker, you know, in Ireland, Scotland, certainly we've all got people who are like that. Lead by example. Yeah. And when you do, those people around you will change, and that's how we're going to reach 1 million people this year. When we reach our goal is to transform the world's relationship with alcohol. Honestly, that's going to happen anyway. And so what I say to people is the same paradigm shift that happened with cigarettes, we were talking about this earlier, you know, there was an image of a woman carrying a baby, smoking a fag, saying smooth as a baby's bottom, not that long ago, as an advert, right? So that was a slow cultural shift. This one's going to happen much quicker. And if you are not questioning your relationship with alcohol right now, you absolutely will be. Within the next 5 years, you will be questioning it.
And do you find you face arguments from people in situations that people get defensive, or
they do, but it's getting so much better. It's genuinely happening before our eyes. It's almost tangible. You can almost like this year over last year. It's a massive difference. Like dry Jan is everywhere this year. Yeah. Celebrities are doing it.
They reckon 5 million people in the UK.
Exactly, it's huge. It's exponential in terms of its growth. So it's becoming so much easier.
Do you know what? Some of the supermarkets had like the prosecco down to €2
after
New Year because they're trying to get rid of it. For so many people doing. That's very interesting, actually.
But then you see this is what's great, and this is a really important point. It's not about not going to the pub or being social. You can still do all of that. So it's not about taking trade away from the publicans, which is a huge thing in Ireland. It's about going to those places, but trying different options.
You mentioned something really important as well there, like the minimum unit pricing, which is going to be doing its rounds very, very quickly. Doing its rounds. Minimum unit pricing coming to place in the UK. You know, so here I'm sure they'll be trying to do something similar.
What does that mean? Explain that.
That means that for per unit of alcohol, there'll be a minimum price. So they won't be able to sell cheap, like £2. Will not be allowed to sell that in supermarkets, right? But that's sort of the same thing they did with cigarettes. Now, do you want to be the person who is forced out of buying cigarettes because they've got ridiculously expensive, or do you want to be the person at the front of the curve making that affirmative life choice not to choose to smoke anymore? That's the thing that's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the questions are about alcohol-free options. Where can what's the name of this one here?
No, Seedlip. Yes, we want to talk about.
Okay, so about 5 people have asked about this. So what is
brilliant?
This? Okay, so here's the thing, and this takes explaining, right? I found alcohol-free beer brilliant for the challenge in that I twice went ahead to a restaurant and put alcohol-free in the restaurant.
Well done.
Perfect.
That's exactly it.
And they didn't sell it, and I said, my friends are coming here tonight, would you? And they were like, no problem at all. I said, and could you do me a favour and not make a thing of it? And, and then another restaurant we go to all the time, get it in specifically for me.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
So it's
skills.
Great. That's really
Ninja skills.
Well, I had read that, but also I didn't want to cause a thing. But one day I kind of screwed up. I brought them in a bag and they were clinking. It was all very embarrassing. I was like,
I had one like
that. His own beer.
I said to them, look, whatever you do, make sure mine's non-alcoholic beer. So I'll have a beer, please. Round of beers. So he's looking at me like, yeah. They go away and they get this floral cup, thing with handles both sides, and they put pints down on them, and they put this floral thing down on me, and everyone's like, what are you drinking? And I'm like, busted!
Just so he could tell the difference. Maybe he thought, you're a hippie. Okay, so what are the options? I mean, this is all alcohol-free, and it does look like the aftermath of a very big party. Okay,
so let's talk about Seedlip first of all. World's first, I mean, there's probably lots of this out, but world's first non-alcoholic spirit. This is a spirit distilled. It's actually a recipe from, the 1800s, which a very clever chap got hold of. And, like a spirit, this is the spiced one, so it's spiced and tonic.
Can I taste it?
So
this is effectively would we say gin, or it's just spirit?
A gin.
Yeah, like a gin. And this is the garden one.
Oh, that's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, where
I
did
love
we get
gin and
this?
tonic, yeah.
Where did we get this stuff?
We got this in Ranelagh in...
what's it called?
Redmond's.
Redmond's in Ranelagh.
And it was
thank you very
fantastic.
much.
And actually, the story that we spoke to the guy that sold this stuff, and he said,
Yes.
actually, if you took the 2 Seedlip bottles, which are alcohol-free gin, they would have compared to his top-selling alcoholic.
Selling
So they're selling.
Massive.
Flying off the
Well, that's
shelf.
funny. That's the most asked question: is where can they get Seedlip?
Well, there you go. There you go.
The wine is the big one for me.
So the wine, it's still not quite there, but this is one of the best ones,
that in
as
Ranelagh?
far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
He had that.
All of this is in...
Oh dear, this is 13%. No, I'm joking. So have a wee sip of that. I mean, the thing
this
is,
is the one I want to try. I've never tried.
nobody
red
is going to
wine.
know. It looks like red wine, but
does
this
that
is
taste
so
like?
easy for you to get away with.
Oh my god,
What does that taste like?
it tastes like red wine.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
And you've got the beers.
Oh my god, that
That's
is
not bad at all.
Now that is amazing, because I always say they've got the non-alcoholic alternative sorted apart from red wine, and that is not bad at all.
I mean, you wouldn't drink
It's
a lot of it.
No, you wouldn't.
Because you wouldn't go numb halfway through.
It's
the
like
first
it's like plonk.
yeah. No, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And it looks the part, and it probably would be quite nice with dinner.
But as always with things, the more you buy this, the
Yeah.
more investment will go into it. I mean, there's a huge ton of money going into this right now.
the growth, isn't the growth in non-alcohol?
It's the biggest.
It's greater.
If
Yeah,
you
it's
look
greater
in the
than
industry, it's the biggest.
Heineken
Booze
is
is
launching
declining.
their one now at the moment. aren't
Zero
they?
Zero Heineken. That's lovely. By the way.
Budweiser. Called Prohibition. Not sure I agree with the name.
Is it called Prohibition?
It's
Yeah,
called Prohibition.
that's their
like
age,
you're
yeah.
the only thing you're allowed to drink when you're not allowed to drink type thing. No.
Okay.
But it's a great beer. Great beer.
Can I mention this one as well? This is actually, randomly enough, one of our members, Andrew Oakes, has started making his own gin. It's called Silk Tree. But it's the same
we try
idea
that?
as
Can we
as
try it?
Seedlip.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Get a glass
pop
there.
this.
Here I've got a glass.
We
Yeah?
tried some of this the other night. It was really nice, wasn't it?
Because you're so organised. The guys actually laid this out. I was so lazy. Sorry, let me see now. What are the questions? So the links, as I said, are to the challenge are above in the post as well. Oh, somebody's telling us 22 in Tesco's in Enniskillen, 35 in Dublin. It's cheaper in Enniskillen. It's my local Seedlip in Avoca in Dunboyne. Thank you very much. And then it's all people, all members saying hi members, hi pals. Okay, what's this one? This is
the
Silk
Silk
Tree by. I feel like I've had a drink. I'm just giddy.
They did some research on this.
Oh, that's.
They did
Okay,
some-
Silk Tree is delicious. Taste that.
You know what they did?
Brilliant.
They took a bunch of students and they gave half them beer and half them non-alcoholic beer. But told them all it was beer.
Yeah.
They didn't know. On the brain scans, the students who've been given the non-alcoholic beer still showed signs of being
Placebo.
drunk.
It's
Really?
huge. It's
Placebo
huge
effect
placebo.
is huge.
This was my placebo, I have to say. Next door in, what's Pithco is the bar next door here on the Quays. They sell this. And what's really funny is, if you buy 4 of these, it's like €6.
Is that right?
They're
Yeah.
for nothing. They're for nothing. And
This
it's
is like having a cake.
It's
This is like having cake in a drink.
So I can thoroughly recommend all of these. Now, there's one thing I want to do because actually, look, we've won way over, as we've been way over. But that's okay. So, as somebody who's done the 90-day challenge, I'll tell you the truth about me, right? Which is kind of hopefully will help and inspire the people. I signed up to do the 30-day challenge, and I kept going to 60s, and then I went on to 90. And also when you sign up, it allows you to do that. You can extend your challenge as well, which is amazing. When you're feeling a little bit weak or a little bit on your own, what I love is the brilliant of technology, the internet. It can be so positive. And it's the first time I actually thought, God, so social media can be really positive, actually.
It's so... I mean, people... That group is insane.
Yeah, and people post videos, and it's just very inspiring. But any question you have about how you're feeling or why you're feeling like that, there's an answer. There's somebody who's gone through it, going through it.
Yeah.
But there's often 30 answers.
Yeah.
Like, I was very vulnerable one day and put up a very open, vulnerable post, and I got about 100 responses. But in those 100, honestly, there was 60 of really good value that the others were very supportive. But these were actually tips and advice. I was like, read this book and get this thing and do this thing. So I would say read The Naked Mind. It's brilliant. Yeah, but actually get it on audiobook, and Fire and Fury on audiobook. Blow your mind. Anyway. But I thought something that would sum it up really well for me, because for me, to tell the story without being accused of being an alcoholic or defending yourself as if you are an alcoholic, and all the extremes of both sides, I had a little route through the testimonials that are posted particularly over New Year, from people on the site, and I found this one particular one from a woman called Joanne, and we're going to play it out, and I'm going to read it so you can read it with me. Tell me when it's up, Adam. Everything was okay in my life before I found my way here. I wasn't overweight or unhealthy, I was reasonably fit. My relationships were good, I was fairly happy, and I had a good job that I found interesting and rewarding. As for my drinking, well, I enjoyed a couple of glasses of wine a night, and a bit more than that on the weekends, just like most people I know. My life was pretty good. But there was much more going on behind the scenes that no one knew about me. You see, those glasses of wines were getting larger, and every time I finished one, I wanted another, even if I didn't always have it. And I was having them every night. Even when I told myself I'd have a night off, sometimes those weekend drinks got out of hand, and I would have much more than I should and end up sick, hungover and full of regret. And I was starting to not recognise that old and tired woman looking back at me in the mirror. My mum had a terrible problem with alcohol that ruined her mental and physical health, and took away quite a lot of my happiness from my childhood at home. I was worried because I never ever wanted to be like her, and I was starting to suspect that if things continued as they were, that's exactly what was going to happen. If not soon, then someday. I worried about this a lot. On Saturday morning, I woke up feeling tired, regretful and a bit hungover, and I started looking around online for some sort of information or help. I came across an article about Andy and OneYearNoBeer, and I knew it was exactly what I needed. I decided that morning to take the plunge and signed up for my first challenge before even getting out of bed. That's exactly what I did. What has happened since then? Well, I've had 2 alcohol-free stints, one of 90 days and this current one of 365 days. As a result of going alcohol-free, my life is now much, much better than pretty good. My sleep has improved, my self-esteem increased, my energy and patience have gone up, my skin looks better, my focus has improved, and I no longer feel ashamed and worried that I'm following my mother's footsteps. I live more mindfully and joyfully, my relationships are deeper and more loving. I have an even better job, and I feel a truly peace for what feels like for the first time in my life. And most importantly, I've met all of you. I'm so proud to be a member of this community. You all inspire me every day in the way you support one another and make a real effort to make your own lives better. As I mark 365 days, I want to thank Andy and Ruari for creating this wonderful community, and all of you for being here on this journey with me. How amazing! It's wonderful. It's the start of that I love.
That is fuel for my soul.
The start of that I love. Everything was fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But actually, I was just drinking a little too much.
Yeah.
And just removing that little too much has made such an impact on her life. That blew me away. When I read that, that was even before we'd agreed a date. I said, I'm going to download that and keep that because that sums it up for me.
Yeah.
It's not a massive problem, but actually removing it, the much bigger effect to removing it.
I think that's it. You just do not realise what alcohol's doing to you. It just nibs away daily, nib, dub, 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 and you remove it and boing.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I didn't realise I could feel this good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why we had to create a challenge and say, come on, just try it.
And here's a tricky one I'm going to ask you. So if anybody watching here now is sitting there with a glass of wine, enjoy it because it's your last. That's the wrong language. Sorry, no, put that down. It's awful. If they're sitting there going, I could never do that. Well, what I can say is, I thought I could never do that. And every day I felt I deserved a Blue Peter badge. I swear to God. It wasn't easy at the start, but it was so rewarding. By the end, I would do it all again. So what would you say to somebody who feels that I could never be that person?
I think there's never the perfect time to start as well. This is a key thing. A lot of people look at this and go, but I've got the wedding, the stag do, the work do. I'll put it off. But actually, those events are normally the most rewarding.
Yeah.
So there's never a perfect time to start. Start tonight.
Yeah.
Start right now. Why wait? Why wait to potentially transform your life and get all this good stuff? And just do 28 days. That's all it is. 4 weeks, and see what happens.
Yeah.
If you feel brilliant and you get all these amazing things, keep going. If you genuinely get to the end of 28 days and go, my life was much better with alcohol in it, then fine.
Yeah.
That's your choice. But at least you know. And just as we said earlier, you don't know until you try.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just guessing.
I think, and for anyone who's thinking, I'm not sure I could do that or I can't do that, this is the Everest of social challenges. We are absolutely trailblazers who will show you and it's just a step and another step and another step, and every day will take you through that step, and you'll do it with a whole bunch of people literally cheering you on. You know the Facebook group, cheering you on with pom-poms at the side all day long. Come on. And next minute you're like, holy crap, I'm at the top.
Well, when you take over the world, will you come back and see us again?
Oh,
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. All the information you want to know about the One Year No Beer Challenge, which starts with the 28-day challenge, the link to buy the book, if that's an easier version for you, are all above. But also the Facebook page, any information you want is in the link above. Next week, I will be live from Brussels with Cheryl Sandberg, the COO of Facebook and the author of Lean In. Have a lovely, lovely week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.